Welcome to ADHD Whiskey. If you're new here, my name is Matt. On Wednesdays, which is today, we take a blind sample out of the box behind me, pour it into a glass, swirl it, nose it, taste it, review it, and ultimately score its ass. Today is 1 Ounce Wednesday. In this box are samples from patrons, from viewers, from friends of mine, hopefully none from any foes of mine, from distilleries, and some of them are just sample bottles that I poured the last little ounce or two into of a bottle that I wanted to review blind later. Now that I've explained 1 Ounce Wednesday for the 1 billionth time, let's grab a sample and hope it's greater, or at least pretty good. Whew. Got one. America. Glass, glass, glass. There it is. Hiding it, hiding it, hiding it. Hit it. I hit it good. Giving this 1 Ounce Wednesday pour a nice swirl in the glass, trying to coat every little bit of the glass inside of the glass so that the glass inside of the glass smells less like glass and smells more like the whiskey that's inside of it. Color on this whiskey looks to be relatively whiskey-like in its color. There may be a couple particulates particulating in there, a couple suspended particles of God knows what, probably oak, possibly dinosaur, but this whiskey gets a passing grade as far as clarity goes. Going in for a nose on 1 Ounce Wednesday. That smells delicious. That smells Buffalo Trace product, oaky. That smells like sweet cherries and lovemaking, which is why all the people with their doctorates and like fancy degrees get super excited about Buffalo Trace products because bitch please, they're sweet smelling. Sweet, super sweet smelling. This sweet cherry is turned into a raspberry, bordering on thimbleberry. I've eaten my fair share of thimbleberry, so don't you start getting your feathers ruffled telling me that I don't know what a thimbleberry is. If you don't know what a thimbleberry is, then maybe you should get yourself a boat and motor it on out to Isle Royale in the middle of Lake Superior and wander their trails whenever thimbleberry season is. Try not to encounter a moose because the moose are on the loose and they will not do a damn thing except for swim. Moose like to swim. It's true. It does have a bit of sweet breakfasty notes to it. Little bit of syrup. It's like a thimbleberry pancake. And I know that one of you people in the comment section below will say that I look like a thimbleberry in this shirt. Touché. Good joke. Sorry to thimbleberry you with so much information about the smell of this glass and Isle Royale National Park, but I just felt like you should know. I just felt like you should know. Let's go in for a taste of this 1 Ounce Wednesday pour so we can evaluate the flavor profile and its viscosity and eventually at the end give it a score and a reveal. First sip down the hatch. Real lady marmalade. That tastes like orange marmalade. Orange marmalade. This hit a little bit differently than I expected it to. I'm gonna put this whiskey probably around 100 proof. It had a little bit of a zing to it, which I wasn't expecting. Mildly oily, decent finish. But that first punch of flavor was like an orange marmalade. Second sip. This is very interesting. This is a very interesting pour. I'm gonna reel back the proof a little bit maybe to, it's either 100 proof, maybe sub 100 proof. There seems to be an underlying oak note here that's not taking over. It's not like leading the investigation. It's not the district manager, but the oak instead is like the general manager who takes calls from the district manager. It's just managing a small area of the district known as your mouth. But if it continues to work as well as it does, eventually, as long as there's no corruption or whatever the word is when businesses hire family instead of people who deserve the job, then I would imagine that the oak profile on this whiskey could potentially move from general manager to district manager. maybe even regional manager if it stops smoking pot and gets its act together. The oak is kind of outshined by these bright flavors. It's like starburst candies just pew, 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 bursting off with flavors. Nothing too dark, nothing too mellowed or rounded. They're kind of just like bright bursts of red and orange, maybe even a yellow. Now going back to the nose and I smell Pop Rocks, or maybe even like a hint of cotton candy. And I know I look like cotton candy in this shirt too. Don't you even say it. Or if you do decide to say it, just I want to let you know I already know. And good joke. A very confectionery pour here, something that I think is good, but it's like, I feel like it's missing a gear. It's like when you first met your wife and you were dating and you drove a nice car that was like a manual transmission. It went like 12s in the quarter mile, which was good for back then. You had some bolt-on modifications and you kept it clean. You kept your ride clean. But it's like the first time you let her drive the car. Once she figured out the clutch and the gas feel, rolling, starting first gear, riding the clutch a little bit, and then ding, 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 red line. Babe, you gotta shift. Babe, push in the clutch. Put it in second gear. Babe, that's the brake. That's not the clutch. The clutch is on the left. Don't use your right foot, use your left foot. I know what you learned in driver's ed. Driver's ed, no. They didn't tell you to use your right foot on every pedal, unless of course it's only a 2-pedal operation. On a 3-pedal operation, you do need to use your left foot on a 3-pedal operation vehicle, babe. Babe, clutch. Ding, 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 ding. Still redlining in first gear. Ding, 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 ding. Babe, if you're not gonna push in the clutch, then at least let off the gas. What? Ding, 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 ding. This whiskey seemingly doesn't quite find its second gear. It just sits there, just ding, 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 ding. Let's give this one more sip and then ultimately decide on the score. It's a lower proof, fruity bourbon. I do think a lot of people will like this because it's a very enjoyable sipper. It hits all the sweet spots in your mouth, but since it never finds that second gear, it just lacks a bit of complexity and therefore doesn't deserve any sort of fantastic score. I'm gonna say that today on 1 Ounce Wednesday, whatever is in this glass that came out of that sample bottle receives a score from me of 7.7. The wait is over. I've enjoyed this ounce of whiskey in the glass. Now let's find out which whiskey's ass I reviewed so professionally. Today, on 1 Ounce Wednesday, we were drinking. You can't read that, neither can I. Mother of Balls. That is from Bill Kavanaugh, 94 proof Buffalo Trace product, Daniel Weller. Weller. Daniel Weller. Holy fudge. Aged nearly 12 years according to company press release. MSRP of $500. I think that Weller 12 at 90 proof provides a much oakier experience than this Daniel Weller. I completely forgot that that was even in that box. And sometimes I wish I knew what I was drinking before I was drinking it on occasions like this, because it's like, I could enjoy it more. Like, oh, this is a $500 bottle of bourbon, but instead it's just me pouring it into a glass and talking about how the oak presence isn't quite management material. Thank you so much, Mr. Kavanaugh, for sending the sample. Mr. Bill Kavanaugh honestly makes this channel so much better with his generosity. So as I end this video, in the comments below, everybody say, thank you, WJK. Thank you, Bill friggin' Kavanaugh. BFK. Bill friggin' Kavanaugh. Everyone say thank you to Bill in the comments below because his generosity makes this channel shine on some days. Daniel Weller. Wow. Thank you everybody so much for watching. My name is Matt. This is ADHD Whiskey. Like I always say, keep your head in the clouds but your mind on being careful when you're driving in water. Last year I drove my minivan through a flash flood and I killed it. It ingested water in its lungs and it died. It died real bad. I'm just reminded, because we have a flood watch for tomorrow, that I should tell all of you that water is not meant to be ingested by your engine. Once it goes into the intake, you can take your vehicle and shove it. And by shove it, I mean push it. because once the engine shuts off, she dead. She dead for good. She dead for good.